T.
Miss T. Miss T.
Miss T.
Miss T.
Miss T.
Miss T.
Miss T.
Can't wait for you to meet Miss T. She is the T in T.
Welcome back. Okay, I got the coolest thing to share for you that's going to help you with your career. It's going to help you with your relationships. It's going to help you with your money. Today, we're going to talk about being responsible. Yes, I know. For some people, they're like, oh yeah, I love this. Other people, it's like, yeah, I don't want this. I want to do whatever I want whenever I feel like it because that's who I am. Well, I'm telling you this. Once you develop the muscle called responsibility, there's a few very important things that'll happen in your career, in your personal life, and in your financial life. First things first, when you are responsible, it pushes you forward. Responsibility attracts more responsibility. So for example's sake, if you're really, when you were younger, you were really good at keeping your room clean, then you got more territory to govern. If you're really, really good at making your bed in the morning, then you'll have other responsibilities added to that because you've mastered this one smaller responsibility. So the goal is to keep adding responsibility. The more responsibilities you acquire or you absorb or you grow to the level that you can manage, the more you'll have to manage. Now, I know a lot of people say, I want to be rich, but one of the major requirements for that is being responsible with your money and also being responsible with your time. So responsibility gives you a couple things. First things first is it pushes you or propels you forward towards whatever your dream, your goals, your destiny is. If you develop an intense level of responsibility in the basic areas of life, then you can gain other opportunities where you'll also have to practice responsibility. So when I say the basic areas of life, like keep your car clean, be responsible. If you have a car, keep your car clean. If you have a home, an apartment, a room, a house that you own, keep it well maintained. Be very responsible. Everything has a place. Every bill that needs to be paid, the yard care and the maintenance that needs to happen, be responsible. And I learned that when you're responsible with a little, then you can be trusted with much. So if you already have something that you own, possess, that you value, or if you work for a company, be responsible, and I promise you'll start to see yourself propel forward, career-wise especially. If you're responsible with money, meaning you are a budgeter, or you are not a frivolous spender, or you plan your money, every single dollar has a plan. There's a purpose for every nickel. If you are responsible with your money, I promise you will have more of it and you'll be able to do more with it. So again, it pushes you forward. The second thing it does is it's a character developer. When you are responsible, it develops character and integrity. And those two qualities, those two elements in any human create superhumans. And so if you are not attentive to where you should be being responsible, you could miss the opportunity and grow in character, which is doing the right thing when no one's looking, and integrity, which is doing the right thing when no one's looking, the practice of it, and then the knowing of it. And character and integrity, those are major requirements if you plan to not just climb to the top of whatever field or goal or career that you ladder you're climbing. The character and integrity will keep you at the top, but responsibility will get you there. So responsibility, if you think of it like yeast and bread, it's the rising agent, but the staying agent, the one that helps you hold your form or maintain your position, is the character and the integrity that you developed through practicing responsibility. And that third one is it's a qualifier for wealth. So I'll rewind to 2008 in my life. 2008, the bottom fell out of the economy. And I lost everything. When I say everything, I mean literally everything. I lost my home. I lost all my assets that I'd acquired. And the home that I lost was one that I built from the ground up. I was only 25, smashing it. But, my husband and I at the time, we built it and we lost it. I lost my company's building that we acquired when I first started Studio T, lost it, lost my savings, lost my 401k. I mean, when I say I lost everything, I lost everything. I was living in a hotel with my kids and my spouse at the time, and we were really trying to figure out we had no place to go. And we had it was really, really hard, really, really ugly. But I recall being in excess of $600,000 worth of debt. I didn't just lose everything. I had tremendous debt because of poor decisions that I made with money, not knowing, just trying to make things happen, not being well educated in that realm. And so I started getting mentoring from a mentor of mine that coached me for many, many years. But once I started getting the mentoring, one of the first things that he had me practice is responsibility as it pertained to my spending. And so it was easy for me to find money, but it was also easy for me to spend money. And until I developed stronger, responsible practices in how I was spending, how I was saving, and how I was retiring debt, I couldn't get out from under the burden of the debt, and I had a lot of it. And so I ended up on welfare. I ended up, as a single parent, raising my 3 kids, and to try to figure out how to get out of $600,000 worth of debt while you're raising kids, while you're on welfare, trying to find work. That thought all by itself was overwhelming. So I started taking steps, responsible steps, where I wouldn't spend frivolously. So a lot of the things like getting my hair done, getting my nails done, I started doing those things myself. I didn't go to Starbucks and get, coffee or tea or anything like that. I found a way to make it at home. And I started, just really getting more engaged with my faith and believing, declaring, decreeing for things rather than buying things. And I really experienced a lot of miracles in that respect. But what it did was it built a faith muscle in me. And it also built some responsibility in my money management. The other thing I did by way of being responsible is whenever you have debt, that means you owe somebody something. And sometimes you can ignore that, continue to go and, buy what you want when you want. And that's not being very responsible. So I recognized that I had to, number 1, be responsible in my spending. Number 2, increase my income. And number 3, start retiring debt. Like be responsible and get rid of the debt. And in less than 4 years, I got out of $600,000 worth of debt. And that was me even, like I would send the creditors $1. I would send them a quarter. If I found money on the ground, I would keep stacking it, or if I got coins here or was gifted something there, I would save it and then make payments towards the debt. And so I was able to retire it. And in the process of doing all of that, my credit score went from like 500 something, which was really, really crazy low, to, I was comfortably in the 7s. And so I was also rebuilding my credit. I was becoming credit worthy, which shows that you're responsible with money. And so in doing that, the wealth that I was able to attain and grow and multiply started to change because I didn't have the weight of the debt pulling, on the income that I was bringing in. And so as I was bringing in the income, maintaining those responsible practices with my income, I didn't overspend. I didn't spend more than I had coming in. And that started to create a wealth flow for me, or a wealth growth for me. And then I was able to save enough money and buy a home, which added to the wealth value. But adding that, so again, I went from an apartment with 3 kids and 2 bedrooms to a home with 4 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms and a backyard and, a number of other things. So that required my responsibility muscle to strengthen, or forced it to strengthen, because I had more responsibility. And like the maintenance before was something that the apartment complex took care of. Well, in my own home, that's something that I had to take care of. And so now I'm building relationships with contractors and plumbers and yard care people and oops, this is broken. Well, now I have to have the money for that. So how I started managing my money with the larger responsibility of a home meant I had to, it put a greater demand on me being a higher earner in what I do in my consulting and what I do in my company and what I do as an employee of my company. And so when I say growing in responsibility increases your wealth, it's because it not only creates a demand for more wealth, but it also helps you to build systems and structures where you can determine how your money flows. One of the greatest things that I've learned over time in developing my responsibility muscle is that your ability to be responsible for more territory, more than just yourself, more than just your family. It spills over into other areas, other realms. And so now I'm not just responsible for, what I do on a day-to-day basis. I'm responsible for all of my employees. I'm responsible for the health and the wellness and the growing of multiple cities. I'm responsible for thousands and thousands of young people getting the training, the development, and the love that they need to be successful. And so once you start practicing responsibility, or once you start allowing yourself to grow in responsibility, I promise you, you will see 3 very important things. Number 1, you will advance, get closer to your dreams, your goals, desires. You will accomplish them. Number 2, your career will evolve. I promise you, your career will evolve. You'll develop the character and integrity you need to not just get to the level, but stay at the level and prepare for the next level. And number 3, your wealth will shift. How you handle it, how you receive it, how you multiply it, how you grow it, and how you can get more of it. All of that will change the more you practice responsibility. And if you're one of those people where you just don't like it, start small and grow. Just make your bed every day. Just put your laundry in the laundry basket every day. Do your homework and turn it in. Just find different things. Again, you're walking down the street, just pick up the garbage and put it in the garbage can. Just find a way to practice being responsible, not just for yourself, but for the world around you. And I promise you, everything about your success and your trajectory and your wealth will shift for the better. Responsibility is a muscle. Work it and it'll work for you. Thank you so much for tuning in to Sweet Tea Time, where we want you to live your sweet life now. So if these teachings, coachings, mentoring, and just sharings of things is helping you, make sure you do a few things for me. Just let's share the wealth, okay? Number 1, like the videos. Number 2, share them. Family, friends, people you like, people you don't like. They might need to hear this stuff. And make some comments. We really, really, really enjoy hearing from you. I like to know that this is helping you. And if it's not helping you, help me help you. And lastly, make sure you're subscribed. Subscribe and turn that bell on so every time we get one of these done for you, you'll know about it and you can consume something that's going to help you be stronger. Again, thank you for tuning in to Sweet Tea Time, and I can't wait to see you again very soon.